Hey everyone, are you ready for a fantastic story? Get cozy because today we are jumping into the wonderful tale of the Lion and the Mouse. Now, I've got a question for you. Do you think a teeny tiny little mouse could actually help a great big mighty lion? A mouse is so small and a lion is so big. It sounds kind of impossible, right? Well, maybe not. Let's find out what happens. Okay, first, let's set the scene. We're heading deep, deep into a big, beautiful jungle. Just imagine it. The trees are super tall, the flowers are every color you can think of, and you can hear all the amazing animal sounds all around us. This is where our story starts. So in this sunny jungle lived the king of all the animals, a great big lion. And after a yummy, giant lunch, he was feeling pretty sleepy. So he stretched his big, strong body out under a nice, shady tree to take a little nap. He was just the biggest, proudest lion you've ever seen. But he wasn't alone. Not too far away, a very playful little mouse was peeking out from his cozy home. And when he saw that big, sleeping lion, oh boy, did he get a mischievous idea. He thought to himself, "Whoa, the king's back looks like the best slide in the whole world." So, this brave little mouse decided to go for it. But sometimes our fun and games can get us into, well, a little bit of trouble. And that's exactly what was about to happen. And there he goes. The little mouse scampered right up the lion's long tail. And whee! He slid all the way down his back. Oh, it was so much fun, he just had to do it again. And again. But maybe he was being just a tiny bit too noisy. Because all of a sudden, bam, a gigantic paw came down and trapped the poor little mouse. The lion was awake, and let me tell you, he was not happy about being woken up. He opened his enormous mouth, and it looked like he was going to swallow that tiny mouse in one single bite. Oh no, the mouse was so scared, he was shaking from his whiskers to his tail. But he took a deep breath and squeaked out as bravely as he possibly could, "Oh, please, Your Majesty, please forgive me. If you just let me go, I promise I will help you someday." Now hold on, a mouse promising to help a lion? That is a pretty surprising thing to say. What do you think the king's gonna do? If you were the lion, what would you do? Well, the lion just let out a giant roar of a laugh. It was so loud, it shook the leaves on the trees. He rumbled, "You? Help me? That's the silliest thing I've ever heard." But because he had that big lunch and was in a pretty good mood, he decided to be nice. He opened up his giant paw and said, "All right, little one, go on, get out of here before I change my mind." Phew, the little mouse didn't have to be told twice. He scampered away as fast as his little legs could carry him, so happy to be safe. But just a few days later, something really, really awful happened to the king. You see, some hunters had come into the jungle, and they set up a sneaky trap made of really thick, strong ropes. The lion was just taking a walk, feeling all proud and kingly. He had no idea there was danger waiting just around the corner. And then, whoosh, just like that, a huge net flew up from the ground and wrapped all around him. The mighty king of the jungle was trapped. He couldn't move. He was all tangled up in those ropes from his nose all the way to the tip of his tail. He roared for help with all his strength. He pulled and he twisted and he turned, but the ropes were just too strong. His big, sad roars bounced all through the jungle. It really seemed like he was stuck for good. Who could possibly save him now? But wait a minute. Way, way off in the jungle, a very, very small creature heard that sad roar. And guess what? This tiny little creature knew exactly what to do. You guessed it, it was our little mouse. As soon as he heard the lion's roar, he remembered his promise. He thought, the king needs me. He was kind to me, and now it's my turn to be kind back and help him. So how did he do it? Well, here's the plan. First, he scurried over to the trap as fast as he could. Next, he started climbing up those thick, scratchy ropes. Then he found the biggest, most important knot holding everything together. And then, with his super sharp little teeth, he started to nibble and nibble and nibble. And snap, one rope broke, then another and another, until finally, pop, the whole net fell apart and the king was free. The lion was free. He stood up and shook himself, and he just could not believe it. He had been saved by the very same little mouse he thought was so silly and small, the one he had laughed at. He looked down at the tiny mouse, and his eyes weren't angry at all. They were full of thanks. He said, "My little friend, you saved me. You really did. You kept your promise, and you've taught me something very important today, that even the smallest creatures can be the biggest heroes." Isn't that amazing? Think about it. We had the lion, who was so big and strong, and the mouse, who was small and kind. The big lion ended up learning a really important lesson, and the small mouse showed everyone how important it is to keep a promise. And you know what? From that day on, that great big lion and that tiny little mouse became the best friends in the whole entire jungle. The mouse was never scared of the lion again. In fact, you could almost always find him playing right on the lion's back, sliding down whenever he felt like it. And together, they proved something really special to all the other animals. They showed that no act of kindness, no matter how small it seems, is ever, ever wasted. A little kindness can make a huge difference. What a wonderful story. It makes you think, doesn't it? What's one small, kind thing you could do for someone today? Thanks so much for listening, everyone.